Hello, welcome to the C.H.A.B.I.S YouTube channel. There's a lot of empty space above and a small head at the bottom. Makes sense. Because we kind of are talking about the topic that fits, even though I have to admit it wasn't planned that much. But anyway, we have a year changing. 2018 is going, 2019 is arriving. So I'm musing a bit about year's ends, year changes, and being in the center or not being in the center. Actually, the new year is quite a human-centric event, of course, because it's mostly arbitrarily defined when the year starts and when it ends, because we all know at least what we use as time or for measuring time is a circle from Earth around the Sun. But funnily, even though it's mostly religions and some customs and society defining when a year changes, the moment we use here in the Christian circle, kind of, or the position in the circle we use here, is kind of scientifically justifiable. Because it actually is close enough to the winter solstice where the days and night, where the night is longest and the day is shortest. Yeah, is it the solstice? Who cares? Or you will tell me. But anyway, it's not too far away from the shortest day of the year, and it kind of makes sense to have the year change around that day. Even though we missed it by a week, yeah, quite about a week. And that's probably because in perception, if you do not have quite an exact watch to measure the date, the time, and how long it goes, that's called duration in English, yes it is. And if you don't have this and you have to just use what you feel, you can easily get a few days off, because changes in length and duration are not so big right now. But we have to say that actually Christianity was actually defining Easter as the year change before, and they had to resort to change the whole thing when they came to Europe, and the old German traditions had this in midwinter. So Christianity and science, that's a topic. But it's not as bad as you may think, but it's not perfect, of course, not perfect at all. But we had the astronomy topic and the point where we are, and we are kind of returning to the same point at the end of a year, no matter where we position this end of the year, because circles don't have any end or any beginnings. But this is of course completely wrong again, because our point in space-time, the point we are right now, we will never be there again. I'm not even sure if this point will exist again afterwards, because space-time includes time and time does not come back. So we are never at the same point again. And the points we are never really special. And that's quite a bit the topic I wanted to talk about before, and being off-center kind of. We are not in center. We are building our own center kind of. We say the year is changing now and we put humanity in the center. We are celebrating something, and this is all okay because humans want to be in the center, mostly the center of attention, but in any special position, not too special of course, we all want to be normal, but at the same time we want to be special too. And seen from the outside, we are not too special, so we define our own points where we can be special and put ourselves in the center of some relative reference system, and then we are happy too. And that's okay, because we have to be happy somehow, don't we? But not being in the center of the things happening is not always that bad. We see that, or it's said that science have put us out of the center, and in a way this is true, because spirituality and religion and all those things were more made to put us in the center of attention of some god, some deity, in the center of the universe, and the sun revolving around Earth and all that stuff. Those were all ideas that put us in the center. But science does not only show us that we are not in the center in this sense, it also shows us that being in the center of things happening is not actually a thing you really want to do in the strict scientific way, natural science way. Because the center of the universe where we want to be in, for example, it is not even definable by science, because when we accept that the universe once was a infinitesimally small point, everything we have now, every part of this universe is still part of this point. It just got bigger. It morphed into a not very well known shape, maybe roughly hyperspherical or something, some sort of circular probably, but I guess a closed circle is more or less confirmed, but it might be quite a strange object, strange shape anyway. It's probably not perfect. We have found out that no shape in the universe have been proven to be perfect, so it's not so likely the universe itself has a perfect shape. Anyway, it has evolved, but the center of the universe, or the universe as it was at its very first moment, the time actually came into existence, it was everywhere. Being everywhere was in the center, because everywhere was in the center. But now, this center is not part of the universe as we have it now. This point is not in the universe. So, we can't be there. And being there wouldn't be something I actually wanted to, because we have infinite temperature, infinite density, infinite energy density. Does not sound pleasant, actually. So, being there would probably be quite kind of heroic, but not funny. And as I said, we want to feel good at times, don't we? Surely, being at such a point or place is quite a short experience, but a really not funny one in my book. Not sure if somebody wants to prove me wrong. You better don't try it. I would say don't try to prove me wrong to go to such a place. It would be quite a bit sad, and I don't expect you would come back. Let's talk about the center of our universe, or let's talk about the center of our galaxy at least, because we are way off the center of the galaxy. What is the center of our galaxy? A gigantic black hole. Once again, at least according to mathematics, infinite energy density, infinite radiation, infinite, everything infinite, and too much. Yeah, that's once again quite a bit too much. It may be a smaller infinity than the infinity of the universe before the Big Bang, but you know, in a practical sense, that does not make much difference. You are maybe a bit less infinitely dead, but still quite dead. So, what center of what could we be in? Center of the solar system. It's gravity bound. The solar system is gravity bound, so we had to be the center of gravity. Now we know what amount of gravity needs to be to hold something like the solar system together. So the center of gravity of whatever thing that holds a system of this mass together is, once again, does not sound pleasant. Okay, in theory it may be possible that it's spinning so fast that gravity and centrifugal force are balancing out and you could actually live there. So some things may be possible, but you probably had, because the thing under your feet is so massive, you'd had something like a fusion reactor under your feet, and radiation emitted from this thing. I can't actually see the point. And if you are spinning so fast, you would experience blue shift, red shift of the radiation entering that object. So in the morning you would get probably get a bad sunburn from the cosmic background radiation, blue shifted to UV or gamma rays or whatever. It does not sound pleasant once again. And now to talk once again about the spiritual side of things. If we assume there is some God which either loves human beings or living things, or at least likes to play with them and does not want to break his toys, or its toys or her toys, or whatever God is, probably not gendered. If we assume this, putting human beings or living things in the center of something, as I pointed out, how centers normally are in the physical way of physics, wouldn't be a good idea. It's like storing your hamster in a nuclear reactor or something. That would not only be kind of cruel, it also would make sure you can never see that hamster again, or not in a way you want to see it. So I guess being off center on a universal scale, on a galactic scale, even on a solar system scale, and even on a planetary scale, being on the outside of the planet and not on its center, once again, that sounds like quite a good thing. So at least in the sense of physics, it makes a lot of sense that we are not in the center. But we are allowed to put ourselves in the center of some celebrations we made ourselves. That's not a bad thing. At least not once a year or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many times do we have some celebrations in Switzerland? Sometimes I think we have one every week. But anyway, that's surely not a bad thing. But don't try to move it over to the world of physics in a literal sense. That couldn't end up too well. So, Happy New Year, if you are still here. Bye!